Hi, in this video, I want to share how I manifested a miracle on the side of a road when I was moving back from Miami to Orlando in my motorhome. I live in a 36 foot, 37 foot Damon Astoria, and I was coming back from Miami, and I was on a stretch of the highway and my motor started sputtering, and the motorhome was just kept sputtering. The engine kept sputtering, and eventually it just stopped. And so I was stuck on the side of the road. Like, this was a busy stretch of the highway, and there wasn't much there wasn't a shoulder. So I had to pull over this big vehicle and have cars whizzing by me at 70 miles an hour. And this stretch of the highway also, there was probably 10 miles in between each, behind me and before me, that there was nothing there. And this was on a Sunday as well, just to kind of give you a little frame of reference of what will happen later. I'll share later. So anyways, I'm getting really nervous. I'm getting really upset. And what I hope to also teach you inside of this is like the power of our emotions. Because what happened in this experience for me blew my mind away, as far as like the power of our emotions and the power of manifestations, and how like synchronicities can all line up, and like how God can like bring things and people together. So I'm stuck on the side of the highway, and I'm like, okay, I've got RV insurance for this particular situation. And so I call, I won't name the company, but they're a big company, and they're specific for RV, like towing and RV insurance and stuff like that. And I called them, and they didn't want to tow me to where I wanted. And I was getting really frustrated. I was also really nervous, so it was really amplifying everything. And I'm trying to put myself back in that state, because I was really, really pissed off, because they didn't want to tow me to where I wanted. And they found one place that might be suitable, but at the same time, there was no one there at that repair place. It was like a Saturday afternoon. And if you own a motorhome, a big diesel one, those repair shops are closed on the weekend. And the contract for them specifically says they would take you to the closest repair facility. Well, it doesn't do me any good to take it to the closest repair facility when it's closed on a Saturday and not going to open till Monday. Now I'm really stuck. And so I was getting upset, and I was starting to catch my emotions, and I was starting to get really clear. Like, I just wanted this fixed. I just wanted it fixed, and I just wanted to get on the road. So I finally get the dispatch to agree to take me to a local rest stop, like 3 or 4 miles up the road, and that would be covered. And one of the reasons I got really upset too was because they wanted to charge me for the towing. I'm like, why would I be charged for this towing? This is what I pay for the tow insurance for. So my judgment and being pissed aside, I put that aside as best I could. I was still upset. And they finally said, okay, we finally found a tow person, and that they can come out and get you there. That was about an hour and a half, 2 hours of sitting on the side of the road in the heat of Florida, in my motorhome. I was trying to do the best I could. I was like pulling up videos to watch and kind of, killed the time. And in the meantime, I had actually diagnosed what had happened. I called a good friend. He walked me through some things. We found out that the belt on the engine had broke, like it had shredded off. So there's no hope of like finding something and like, oh, magically flip a switch or a fuse broke and it'll fix it. No, this was a belt. It had to be replaced in order for it to push the vehicle. And so I still wanted to be fixed and back on the road. I didn't want to leave the RV on a busy side of the highway. If I could have pulled it off and have been maybe safe, that would have been one thing. But I didn't want to do that. So I was really in this like frustrated state. But I was really, really clear, and this is one of the lessons that I learned, is like I got really clear and I had a lot of powerful emotion behind it. And about, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, a tow truck guy called me. Seemed like a real nice guy, good old boy. And he said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, this is what's going on. I've got this Damon Astoria. It's got this Cummins engine." And he said, "Well, what engine is it?" And I said, "It's a Cummins ISB 300, and I told him, I said, "Hey, I know what the issue is." I said, "The belt is broken. It just needs to be replaced." And he said, "Okay, let me, do you have the part number?" And I said, "I'm not sure, but let me do some Googling and I can see or figure it out." And he said, I'll if I can find the belt, I'll swing by the store and pick it up for you. And we'll see if we can get it, put it on." And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And so that was like a first sign of like, what is going on? Like, this is amazing. And so he called me back a little while later. We got all the part numbers and everything and confirmed and everything. And he said, "I'll be there in about 45 minutes. And I called a buddy of mine, and he's coming with us. And he has that exact same engine. And he just replaced that the belt on his just a couple weeks ago. So he knows exactly what to do." And I was blown away. And it was like this all of the negative emotions quickly turned into like this, oh my God, this is amazing. And so they showed up. They had the belt. They got it replaced in like 45 minutes. It wasn't that big of a deal. The big deal was like you had to work on the side of the highway. I tipped him really well. And that was the day that I learned, and I'm still learning this, is that when you put really powerful emotions and are really clear what you want, right? There's no telling what God can do, what the universe can provide and bring to you. And I hope anybody that is listening is like, when you want something, you've got to be really clear about it. And you've got to have, put the emotions, and they've got to be authentic. That's, like mine were really authentic in that time. You could tell I was really, really pissed and I really wanted to go home. I've had issues otherwise, when I'm trying to work on manifesting, something different, and I'm kind of wishy-washy and things haven't shown up. So this is a lesson for me where I just got really clear and I really used that power of emotion. And in this case, it wasn't like on the positive, appreciation in the moment. It was like, no, I was really upset, really wanted something, and it got provided, and it was really cool, and it brought me a whole new level of trust and brought me up the scale. And then I went into appreciation, and it was really cool. So I hope my story helps someone that, anything is possible when you really put it out there. Now, I haven't mastered any of this. I'm still learning, I think, like a lot of us, but it was something that gave me confirmation, and it gave me confidence in the process, and to keep working on getting better at it. If you found this helpful, let me know, comment down below. I've also got a morning manifestation club where I have a quick few-minute audio that I share with people, just an inspiring way to start their day with maybe a positive affirmation or like a rampage of appreciation, and then some insightful questions for you to set up your day powerfully towards the things that you're creating and manifesting in your life. If that's of interest, drop a comment, and you can also find it in the description and stuff too. All right, have a good day. Bye.